Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we are going to talk about another very important topic related to medical coding anatomy, where we will be mainly focusing on peritoneum serous membrane. Okay, so in this session, we will deeply discuss what is peritoneum serous membrane. If you remember, in our previous session, we have already covered the other types of serous membrane. So this session is mainly in the continuation of the same, where we will be mainly talking about the peritoneum. We'll see how it is utilized and what are the functions of these membrane. Okay, but before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released session first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow it sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just mainly focusing on what is peritoneum serous membrane. Okay, alright, and for that you can also refer the Tech Sharmit digital course book, which is freely available in the description box. There you will find thousands of sessions available in both Hindi as well as English language. So without any language barrier, you can easily consume the content, and in case if you have any queries or questions related to that, just feel free to reach out to me through comment section. I would be more than happy to answer all your questions there. Okay, alright, so let's get started and see what is peritoneum. So we'll start from definition itself. Here you can see we have definition. The peritoneum is a thin double layered serous membrane that lines the inner wall of the abdomen of the abdominopelvic cavity and covers the outer surface of the abdominal pelvic organ. Now, if you know that previously we talked about two types of serous membrane. One was covering the lungs and another one was covering the heart. But now the third type is covering the abdominopelvic cavity and covers the outer surface of most abdominal pelvic organ. So what it is basically a peritoneum. Okay, one another very important thing, peritoneum is the largest serous membrane in the body. So sometimes they will ask you the interview question like this, tell which one is the largest serous membrane in the human body. So you have to just simply say that peritoneum serous membrane is the largest serous membrane in the human body. Clear? Now let's see what are the layers of it. So first layer is perital peritoneum, that is the location of it lines the inner wall of the abdominopelvic cavity. Then we have visceral peritoneum, covers the outer surface of the abdominal and pelvic organs. After that we have few important point, like between the two layers is the peritoneal cavity, contains approximately 50 to 100 ml of peritoneal fluid for lubrication. Okay, so this cavity also has some fluid. It contains some fluid around 50 to 100 ml for a peritoneal fluid that helps in the lubrication. Now it is different for males and females. In case of males, peritoneal cavity is completely closed, but in case of females it has two openings at the end of the fallopian tube. Okay, so this is just a definition and the layers and the important points related to peritoneum. Now we'll talk about the next part, that is the classification of organs. Okay, so what are the classification of organs? So first thing is peritoneal organs, which is almost completely covered by the visceral peritoneum and generally more mobile. Now in case of mobile, what it means it moves, okay, for certain extent. So intraperitoneal are the organs which are almost completely covered by visceral peritoneum and generally more mobile. If we talk about the examples, so examples include stomach, liver, spleen, jejunum, ileum, transverse colon, sigmoid colon, gallbladder, appendix and ovaries. So these are the part of intraperitoneal organs. Second is retroperitoneal organs, which is lie behind the peritoneum. Okay, so it lies behind the peritoneal. It is generally less mobile and more fixed. So sometime they might ask you in interview like what is the difference between intraperitoneal and retroperitoneal organs. So you can simply say that the retroperitoneal organs are generally less mobile and more fixed, whereas the intraperitoneal organs are generally more mobile. Okay, so let's see what are the examples. So here are multiple examples for it, like I have noted down it with letters in the organ. The first letter is suprarenal adrenal gland, aorta IVC, duodenum, second, third and fourth part. Then we have pancreas, except tail, uterus, colon, ascending and descending, kidneys, esophagus and rectum. So these are the all examples that maybe you can learn that comes under a retroperitoneal organs. Okay, now the next thing is, which is very important related to peritoneal, it's the fold. What is peritoneal folds? So the peritoneum forms important folds that connects organ and carry blood vessel, nerves and lymphatic. So we have types. First is greater omentum, which is a large apron like fold hanging from the greater curvature of the stomach. It is rich in fat and immune cell, called the policeman of the abdomen, walls of infection and inflammation. Clear? So this is greater omentum. Next is lesser omentum, which connects the lesser curvature of the stomach to the liver. After that we have it's a free edge, contains the portal triad, which is hepatic artery, portal vein, bile duct. Okay, so these are the part of it, peritoneal fold. And the last peritoneal fold is mesentery, which is connects the small intestine to the posterior abdominal wall. So basically it connects the small intestine to the posterior abdominal wall, and it carries the blood vessel, nerves and lymphatic to the small intestine. Okay, so after that there is one more falciform ligament, which connects the liver to the anterior abdominal wall and contains the round ligament of the liver, remnant of the fetal umbilical vein. Clear? And the fifth one is broad ligament, which supports the uterus, fallopian tubes and ovaries in the females. So these are the all you can say the important peritoneal folds that we should know, because these are something that will really help you to understand the exact location as a medical coder. Clear? So I think this part is clear here. Now we have learned so many things, so how we will remember it? So for that I have just tried my best to provide you a memory tip. So we know that parietal means wall or visceral means viscera, organs, and this is a short word I tried to create, okay, for retroperitoneal organs. But here it's not that difficult. You can see intraperitoneal, which start from in means more mobile, okay, inside, more mobile. Retroperitoneal means behind, fix the place. And similarly we have greater omentum, policeman of the abdominal, because it moves the side to trouble just like a policeman. Okay, so yeah, these are the all things that I plan to discuss in this particular session, and from now onwards whatever we are going to discuss will be more interesting. So stay tuned and watch all the sessions. But as I always recommend, if you are not watching the previous session, then things would be difficult for you. So go and check out all the sessions sequentially, one by one. Once you do this, you will find that yes, it is giving you more clarity, more answers are coming on the comments, and then I will get the notification that you guys are learning from this. Okay, so for today there is one question for all of you, and it's a bit tricky. What are fibrous function? So if you know the answer of this question, feel free to share it in the comment section so that others can take a reference from it. In fact, if you share your knowledge, then only I will get the notification that you guys are learning from these series, and then only I will release the rest of the sessions related to medical coding. Okay, so please do share your knowledge, and more the comment would be there. Accordingly I will release the more sessions. So yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session with new topics. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmat.